Being disqualified exposes a shooter to more than just ending his match. It creates doubt, loss of confidence, and in severe cases, mental trauma. Welcome to Season 2 of Can We Chat? This podcast is made possible by LAX Ammunition, Southern California's largest ammo retailer with stores in Inglewood, Huntington Beach, and San Diego. Responsible practice at an economical rate without giving up quality and safety.
Let's try this. What is going on? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and inform you of the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Joining us today is the IDPA State Coordinator for California and my dear mentor, Fred Johnson. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning to you.
Mentor, that's a heavy load.
Oh, man. That's all I do is follow you, like a puppy dog.
I wish.
You have a lot to offer everybody,
I wish.
especially safety officers. You made me a better safety officer by far.
It's my goal. As a safety officer instructor, it's my goal. Make
Trying
better
to
safety
get,
officers.
yeah. I know that the new breed coming up. It's like Daniel helped me out.
Daniel's good.
Yeah, Daniel is well. I mean, his
For a new
background.
guy, Daniel's good.
So I spent the day with him last local match. Now we have Anthony the Viking Vega.
He's been in that stuff for a while.
He helped me out at the Western. Megan stepped up, and she took care of us. The scoring as well. All the ASO things that they need to be taken care of. They're phenomenal. They're a great team. They helped me take care of the stage, and I didn't have any issues throughout the whole day.
Yeah, just got to work on that only range commands thing.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So, how was your romp through the Western?
Well, as you notice, I'm rocking my trophy from that Western.
I see you're really embracing that.
I am. I'm suffering from PTSD, and this is part of my therapy.
I still don't believe it.
Neither do I.
They told me, I'm like, and it was one of our dear friends, Scotty, that called it.
Scott,
I asked him every day.
DQ'd me, yeah.
I text him all the time. What were you thinking?
Still hard for me, but it's like it's bound to happen, and everybody says that everyone DQs at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I kept thinking no, because I'd gone over 400 plus matches local.
Right. And you're now
all the big
immune
matches
from it. Yeah.
And then to have it happen at the Western and only got 4 stages deep, and
it wasn't a point of you just kind of like not thinking about what's going on.
Oh, that's totally what it was.
It was just
That's totally what it was.
Is it a brain fart? Is that what you're telling me?
It was. So it was on the stage 4 at the Western with a mover, and I didn't do. And this goes to like when I teach IDPA class. I teach IDPA novice, in introductory class,
right.
And I always tell them, the first part of your stage is a proper walkthrough.
Yeah.
And I didn't do a proper walkthrough. I was SOing and helping run the squad and all that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna shoot that, I'm gonna come here and shoot that, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna shoot that.
Yeah.
And when I got to the second position, I had to go deeper than I had walked it.
Yeah.
And then that meant I was coming up range with my reload, and I could see it coming.
Oh.
I could see it coming. I'm like, I'm okay. No one's yelled muzzle. I'm okay.
Right.
And then finish the reload. Stop. So.
It was the targets that were out in the open.
Well, they weren't in the open. It was the mover, and then we had the 3 targets from the position to cover, and then we went up
to come around. Yes.
To the next position to cover,
Yeah.
and had 2 targets, and so
Coming around the corner.
It was coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up range, finishing my reload, and that's why nothing on Scott. Scott made the right call and everything, but I never heard a muzzle call. So I encourage my SOs, if you look at that and you think that's going to happen,
right,
yell muzzle.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it, and all it does is it triggers the shooter to go, oh wait a minute, and turn my gun.
Yeah.
And I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But heard nothing. I'm good. Finish the reload. Stop.
So we were at the church bell.
440 matches without a DQ.
I mean,
it's got to be a record, right?
Because I perched myself right on the fault line, right, and I was just yelling, muzzle all day long, just to make sure that give them a little extra leeway.
It's a heads up. It's like heads up.
Yep. I actually had John Joy actually sat there and goes, "Hey, what are you actually yelling?" I'm like, I'm yelling 180.
Yeah, it's a reminder.
Yeah, I was like, muzzle.
Yeah, it's a
right?
reminder.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stop you guys from doing stupid things, right? And he goes,
Yeah.
oh.
Try and keep the shooter in the match. Muzzle save points.
Yeah.
I'm big on muzzle save points
Right.
on tight 180 calls, like
Yeah.
where you know that guy's going to reload and he's on the 180.
Yeah.
Bobby had that happen.
Ah, yeah.
You know, you're like,
yeah,
put a muzzle save point there.
yeah.
Nope. Okay, fine. So you're going to
Right.
get DQs here. I mean, it's going to happen. So,
Right. I mean, you
not
don't
that
want
8
that.
DQs was a lot in
Yeah.
a big match like that,
Yeah.
but when I saw the when I had to write the report and I'm getting like 3 180 breaks,
Right.
you know, I'm like, okay, that seems like a lot, but they weren't all on the same stage either, so
Right.
it's going to happen.
But isn't that in the administration rules that if you start to get multiple DQs at a certain stage, that should be, you know, further analyzed?
Reviewed, yeah, but they weren't. There were none. I mean, I don't think there were any multiples on.
Okay.
It was all the same type of,
Right.
you know, tight 180
Yeah.
and a reload. You know, the 3 DQs on 180s were reloads.
Yeah, especially if you're going left, right? Or
Yes, right-hand
if
shooter
you're
going left.
right-hand shooter, yeah,
And that's what
absolutely,
they all were.
absolutely.
Right hand shooter going left.
Do you think they actually think that stuff up, or
No, they just don't.
it's just
Some people are adverse to using muzzle save points. I think they're a savior. You know, it's like
really?
Yeah, because if you put it, you got an up range movement.
Yeah,
Where's that going to happen for the right-handed shooter? 90% of the shooters are right-handed.
Right.
Put a muzzle save point there so that it saves and give them an extra 5 degrees to make that corner. Right.
I know there's a lot of SOs that they're not really big on, adding 185 to it, right?
But I'm like, worked a bunch of matches where
Right.
where I'll go, hey, you know, I would put a muzzle save point in there on my
Right.
stage when I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. Let's put a muzzle save
Right.
point there. The idea is to keep the shooter in the match.
Right, because
Not trap him at a place where he's going to make a mistake.
I know, well, especially on my bay, we had that, and on the left side, it was going left, right? There was a reload there, sharp corner, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a trap, right? So I'm like, this is going to be, well, it's going to be misery for me because I'll be on the radio all day, right?
Plus, you don't want that.
So these
don't
guys
want that
are,
review.
yeah, these guys are riding 180 which is okay, right? Because it's not past the 180. It's not close enough.
170. 175.
So I mean, you would need an experienced SO out there to make sure you keep that safe, and because I know that's going to be a problematic place. But I'm just wondering why that's even there.
It's stage, you know, I always say it, stage setup is everything.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're seeing, I've come close before because somebody will set the wall so that it's like
Yeah.
185. So you're already moving up range slightly. Not enough that you notice it, but it's
Yeah.
enough that it's going to get you a DQ.
Yeah.
And that's just to me as if you're going to do that, then you need a muzzle save point because you're trapping that shooter.
Right.
So
it's challenging for the advanced guys. I mean, you could just without calling it. But what about the guys that are just starting, like novices and marksmen and sharpshooters and stuff like that? I mean, should beginning shooters? I mean, you see this more than in upper tiered matches, right? So
I think just more complicated movement in sanctioned matches.
Right.
And years ago, 8 years ago, maybe 7, 8 years ago,
yeah,
novice shooters weren't allowed at sanctioned matches. It was marksman and up.
right.
And I started in IDPA as a sharpshooter or CDP. That's where I started.
Yeah.
And 4 months later, I went to my first sanctioned match, and it was an eye opener because they do stuff, and it's still to this day. It was a Georgia State match. It was probably the most complicated to this day match I've ever shot. I've shot nationals and worlds and a bunch
Right.
of different state
Right.
matches, but super technical match with photo eye released stuff and
Right.
all kinds of movers and complicated movement patterns. And so if you go to your local match and your local match is simplified, you move left, you move right,
Yeah.
you move, maybe you have one stage where you move up or one stage where you move forward, but when you go to a big sanctioned match, they'll put all that in one stage.
Oh yeah.
And then now the novice shooter, so I understood the
Right.
reason that you don't want to have a novice shooter go to a very technical match, but I think your learning curve is better.
Right.
You'll see that and you'll go, oh man, I need to work on this, or I
Yeah.
need to work on that.
Right.
And so I think it's great that that they opened it up to novice shooters, and just the novice shooters just have to remember, you're shooting against other novice shooters, so don't be intimidated. Show up. I mean, who knows? Maybe you win.
Yeah. And that's actually the advice that I gave some of my teammates. So we actually had two novice shooters, Ian Abbott and Cynthia Bolt. Both of them are novice. SSP and ESP. At the local matches, they were going at it, at each other's throats, just because.
Because you're teammates, right?
Those two.
You always want to step on your team.
I was like, I had to bring a whistle and a striped shirt every time those guys showed up. I'm like, oh my God, they're constantly wondering, what he's doing, what she's doing, but they're shooting totally different divisions, right? And they're going at it, but they both won wood.
Excellent.
So, but I was just.
Did anybody bump?
I believe they did.
Good.
So.
That's the way you want to go. You want to get your bump.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted a special mention to Fred Mowry. Thank you very much for taking care of our vet from Virginia. We had William Barnett that we flew to Sacramento to shoot the Western, and Fred stepped up and took care of his entry fee. So again, thank you very much, Fred Mowry, for doing that. And back to the podcast. So we just finished the 2025 Western in Sacramento. It was a huge undertaking.
Well, you finished. I didn't get to finish.
Fred had some issues going through. I mean, we all had issues. I had stage issues, but Fred actually had a huge stage issue.
Momentary.
And he's embracing it. So
no, I'm suffering PTSD. Last local match, I mean, it was painfully obvious that was on my mind whenever I had to reload going left.
Yeah, I remember a couple times when a lot of times that I actually got DQ'd because of tactical things as well as gear and so forth. But how do you get past that stuff?
I'm still working on it.
Are you?
I think this is part of it. Embrace it.
Own it. It's a group therapy.
Yeah,
really, that helps.
And I can use it in my SO classes because I think probably, I don't know the stats, but I would bet 90% of DQs happen with 180 breaks.
I mean, you have everything. You have, temperatures, weather, you have dehydration, stress. Things can, go south very quickly, but
and on a complicated stage, you can lose your spot.
And that's exactly, you try to manage it the best you can, but things happen, right? So, is this one of those things you just kind of forget it and go on, or you remember it and learn from it and then we go on?
Probably both. I think it's a time thing.
Okay.
If you do it, for people that DQ like 5 times, 6 times a year, it's probably easier for them to move on, right?
Yeah, all right, okay.
Although they don't appear to be learning from it,
right.
So, but for somebody who works at not doing it, teaches not doing it, then to do it is like, okay, I have to get over this, but it'll happen. It'll happen.
Well, it's definitely a breath of fresh air that I know that nobody is beyond that, right? It can happen to anybody, and but you were safe, right?
I was safe.
It's just a
little bit.
Yeah.
5 degrees.
Yeah,
Muzzle save point would have saved it.
But trying to, when you're competing and so forth, right? You're kind of riding that line, right? So that's the difference between the pro guys, right? The super squad and novices and so forth, right? Because those guys are really moving fast.
Yeah, but they also, I think, benefit from shooting more complicated stages more often.
Right.
When you're just moving left and right, it's easy to manage.
So you would like to see a lot more of this stuff at the local matches?
I would. When I design stages, I like more complicated movement.
Yeah.
Because I think it's better for the shooter. He's got to think about more things.
Right.
And it prepares you when you do have to go to a big sanctioned match and shoot something very complicated.
And the local matches are obligated to teach their following.
You would think.
And prepare them, correct?
You would think.
Yeah.
Every local match for me is a practice match.
Yeah.
So I'd like to be practicing the way I play in a big match.
Right.
So if I'm not doing that, then I feel like I'm wasting my time. So
So you have to look for a match that actually provides that stuff.
Yeah. So when we ran the Chasing Zeros match,
Yeah.
I ran it for 4 years. My goal was to make a sanctioned match every month.
Right.
So the stages were complicated, they were technical. I had been told that by other match directors and other shooters, like, this is a very technical match. And I said, it's supposed to be, that's the way I've designed it.
Yeah.
And the novice shooters just have to pedal faster, and I'm fine with that because I think it makes everybody a better shooter. But I don't think every match runs that way.
Right.
Just from stuff I've seen online, and it's a lot of simplistic, standards type stages, and
Right.
that's all fine, but you're not really helping your shooters. And I think that's the whole thing, is that you should be helping your shooters, help them advance, help them be better shooters.
So I noticed that West End Gun Club is actually reopening up their IDPA club.
That's right. We have a new club.
And you've been mentoring their match director.
We have a new match director.
And how's that coming?
So first match was last month. We only did 5 stages and a starter. Went super smooth, no problems. The setup crew was great. For a bunch of guys that have never set up
Right.
matches, I thought it was amazing that they did such a good job. I did the walkthrough in the morning and had to change very little.
Oh, awesome.
So you do setup, so translating 2D to 3D sometimes is a challenge.
Right.
And these guys really nailed it. So
Yeah.
I'm pushing the match director to get us up to 6 or 7 stages. So we have the base space. So, and we have all the gear.
Right.
So my input is just stage design right now and mentoring the match director.
So it sounds like it's running pretty smoothly then.
I think so.
Yeah.
Next match is this Sunday.
Okay. So you're moving to bigger and better, more stages and so forth?
That's the goal.
What's their capability of?
They have 8 bays.
Wow. Okay.
For IDPA on that day, so we could run 8 stages easily. It's just he has to get comfortable with running. It's his first time for him to be a match director. He has to get comfortable running the size match he wants to run. So right now it's 5 stages, I think 50 shooters, but it could easily be 8 stages, 100 shooters.
So he's just in training right now until he gets comfortable. And okay, how's he coming along?
He's very
close.
receptive to
It's close.
Input and coaching. So as long as he's willing to listen, then he'll have a good match.
Ah, okay.
So, and his mindset is good. We talked about it. He's the club doesn't make money, in sense it's not a for-profit type thing. So
Right.
his job is, he doesn't get paid to do this. He's
Right.
doing it as the director for the club. So his mindset is, let's put on the best match we can put on. It's a perfect mindset. That's
Oh yeah,
exactly what
absolutely.
you should do.
Yeah, that should be your priority, right? So the West End Gun Club, that's in Lido Creek, correct?
Yeah, Fontana, I guess, is the address.
What exit is that off of? 210
Sierra 15 in the Sierra Highway.
15 in Sierra, and the match is what day?
3rd Sunday.
The 3rd Sunday. I didn't know it was this Sunday.
This Sunday, you're actually signed up.
I am?
I think so.
Okay.
Thought I saw your name.
Okay, I better recheck that stuff. My schedule's all over the place. I'm still recovering from the Western right now.
No.
I still don't know what's going
You went to Prado last Sunday. You've recovered. You're fine.
No way.
I'm the one that's still recovering from the Western.
So new shooters, they begin. Where should they begin with new gear? The gears that they are going to use. Where do you suggest they start with their gear?
So generally, like if I get a shooter who's wants to shoot IDPA,
Yeah.
they often have CCWs and they want a more dynamic practice environment.
Yeah.
So then we run IDPA class, and that's where I can address gear. Like, what do I need for IDPA?
Yeah.
You can call your local club. You can talk to the match director. The match director will tell you what you need, or make suggestions. There's so much gear out there. It's like, talk to an experienced shooter and ask him what he carries or what he uses. So
I had a lot of questions from subscribers as well as guys from the local match. What do you think about appendix carry in IDPA?
I I'm fine with the concept of it. My issue, like when I ran my own club, I had a range rule.
Yeah.
So appendix carry, fine, expert or master shooter.
Okay.
And then 3 minutes with me
So you're checking them out.
to see if you actually know how to carry appendix, because some don't.
Right.
And I had an expert shooter who was a CCW instructor.
Yeah.
Wanted to carry. And I said, fine. He'd been shooting our match, for a year.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he's got his appendix. Like, okay, let's load and make ready. Not with live ammo, just to put the magazine, load and make ready. And he points the gun right at his belly when he goes to holster. I'm like, stop! You can't shoot my match and manipulate the gun that way. You shoot yourself out here.
Yeah. There's no coming back from that.
Not where we were at. I mean, it's like we didn't even have a phone.
Right.
We had to go down to the range office to get a phone connection. So
Yeah.
So I think it's fine, but if you just say, everybody can carry appendix, then the novice guy shows up because he saw the cool kids carrying appendix and he wants to carry appendix, and from a liability standpoint, I'm not comfortable with that. Every match director will be different, but that's just me. So I'm master shooter, expert shooter. I might even go down to a sharpshooter if I know the guy.
Right.
And you just show me that you can manipulate the gun in and out of the holster safely, and then we're okay with it, because that's the only place that the load and make ready is the only place where bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
well, at the Western, they allowed appendix carry, but both of them, they were master shooters, right? And so I think it's cool that they, no cover type of thing, right? And they're just wearing a jersey. But then again, everything's in the front, right? Mm-hmm. And so their sidecars for their mags and so forth are there as well. And I'm like, oh man, that's busy in front, right? So
there's a lot of stuff going on.
I don't know if I want to relearn a lot of stuff. I think I'm just lazy. So
Fred Mallory was shooting appendix, and when I was like, "Are you pregnant?" Because he had so much stuff,
and he's so skinny.
I know he's so thin. He's got so much stuff, and he puts his shirt over, and they're like, "Dude, you're not concealing anything." So that was just funny.
Oh man, that's just so crazy. So this brings us to bug optics. What do you think?
Optics.
Yeah. So a dear friend, Joe Bodden in Washington's been pushing this stuff. Right?
I watched some of his
It's a huge bug optic fan. He's actually a connoisseur, right? So he actually collects these things because he loves these things so much. So I have one, and I'm dying. I'm just waiting for mags. So I don't even know how to. I'm still figuring out how to
manipulate the tiny gun.
Release the mags. Is my issues because it's so small, right? And they have the X, and they also have the macro, right? And which
but it won't be bug with the
I know,
macro.
but they fit my hand so much better though. I was
the XL would still, because I have a 365 and I have the 12 round extension.
Oh yeah, right.
And it fits the box.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Really, 12 round mag.
With the one with the little finger extension.
Yeah.
And I think that's the XL. I think that's the X or the XL.
Yeah. I this is. So there's.
I'd still probably shoot my 26. I have a slide.
Oh yeah.
I have a slide for it that's milled for an RMR. I just haven't done anything with it. But
Do you like optics?
I shot 1 year of optics.
What do you think?
I think it has merit for especially people getting to be my age.
Yeah.
Where your eyesight just doesn't help you anymore. So I think the optic is beneficial. I think it's keeping older shooters in the game longer.
Yeah.
Who would just say, I can't do this anymore because I can't see the sights, and now you put a dot on it. Now you have 3/4 of the distinguished seniors are shooting carry optic, because it keeps them in the game. So.
Right. Because I think that's where I'm coming from. Right. So I'm shooting ESP. I'm moving too damn fast. I don't see my sights anymore.
Well, you do at the bigger matches.
At the bigger matches, yeah, I try to slow down as best I can, but that
30-yard shots, I guarantee you find the sight. Dot or front, I guarantee you find the sight.
Oh man, and then I don't know, but I've shot carry optics before, and it didn't take me very long to master. That was a fast, and my goal was to see if I can shoot it as fast as the PCC guys. And
it's close.
Oh yeah. It's very close.
close.
The only thing that separates them is the stage. If you get
Movement on the
if you get
stage.
stages that have a lot of tight movement and stuff like that, I think the carry optics would dominate,
I think you can.
because those rifles are tough to get around
Yeah,
corners and stuff like that.
I saw it on my stage at the Western running it.
Yeah.
I had the triple mover. Was it stage 1? When the guys go pick up the gun and they start shooting and they move,
Yeah.
once they get in that movement pattern, I think the carry optic guys were right there.
Your
the BCC guys.
Your stage was definitely tight coming around corners and so forth, and they were movers. So, but I think you can actually take a PCC and just trigger it through that center area where all the non-threats were moving around in there. Yeah. I think your trigger can actually get you through that a lot faster.
So the only thing I'm seeing with carry optic in stages is the offset. You know,
Oh, the mechanical
yes,
offset?
the
Okay.
mechanical offset, where it's not in your window,
Right.
so you're like bang bang, and there's 2 hits in the non-threat because it's not in your window. You just see the dot on the target, and then there's 2 hits on the non-threat,
Right.
or 2 hits on the car hood, or
The-
when we were running a car, we ran a car every stage at Chasing Zeros,
Yeah.
and almost everybody that DQ'd hitting the car was shooting a carry optic because they there's an offset, double tap and then hit the car.
So with PCC, I actually carry a halo, right? So the bottom of the halo would be the car, and I know where my mechanical offset is. So if I'm coming up and it's less than like 3 or 3 to 7 yards, I know that it's the bottom ring.
Yeah, because that's where I see the hits. Is
Yeah.
that close range stuff where you just forget your offset.
But that's something that you need to be a rifle shooter to know, right?
Yeah.
2-inch, because they have like a significant mechanical.
Well, it's what on a pistol maybe an inch, on the carry optic maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, you don't really consider this stuff when you're shooting pistol. You just aim,
But
shoot.
I've seen it.
I can't believe that. That's funny.
I've seen it. Last match, one of our guys.
Yeah.
We had a close target, non-threat, 2-body 1 head.
Yeah.
And he shoots 2-body 1 head, and then he goes to the next target and it's 2-body, and they're perfectly
They're in it.
spaced right at the edge of the target, and it's like you didn't even see it.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's 10, man. I said, that's your offset.
Yeah.
Mechanical
Mechanical
I never
offset,
saw it. Yeah, it wasn't in the window. Didn't see it. So that's the only thing about carry optic, but it's wicked fast for small targets.
Yeah.
Like headshots or steel at distance. It's wicked fast
The
compared to trying to line up a front sight.
where it really started to shine was beyond 15 yards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can shoot that just as fast as if it was like at 7 yards in front of you. So, and that's a game changer, right? That can significantly change.
And for me, it was like, well, I don't want to shoot something I don't carry. So I tried, doing fighting classes, fighting drills with it, and I found I never see the dot. The inside 5-yard thing.
Yeah.
You just never see the dot.
It's just square off shoulders and go for
And
it.
you watch the new dot shooters shoot
Yeah.
stages, and they move from left to right, and they get to that. You got an array that's 3 to 5 yards, and they're trying to find the dot. And you're like, dude, just put the gun on it and press the trigger. It's fine.
I lost my dot.
You don't always have to see the dot. That was the hardest thing for me to get in my head shooting the dot was I don't have to see it.
Right.
Not for that close stuff. You just point shooting. Because I'm like, why is that any different than when I do it with iron sights? Half the time I never find the front sight when it's inside 7 yards anyway.
It's funny, when I first
throw the
started
gun out
shooting dot, you actually were watching me. You're sitting there like, you lost your dot, didn't you?
Oh, I can always tell.
Yeah, because I was sitting there. I'm like, I was shopping. I was like, how did he know that?
Because I could see it.
Just
You go from da 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 da. Where'd the dot go?
oh man, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'll get back to a dot because I'm not getting any younger, so I'll get back to it.
I'm trying to prolong it as long as I can, but the thing is that the shooters nowadays are just getting so damn fast, right? And they're just leaving me in the dust.
Well, we are getting old.
I refuse to believe that, but you're absolutely right. I have problems recovering from the workouts nowadays.
So for me to get a distinguished senior, that's my thing now. It's like, if I can win a distinguished senior,
Yeah.
then I did my job for that match. Because I very seldom ever take a win anymore.
This is a whole different side of you,
What?
Fred.
So you tell like DQs. I mean, you know I'm slowing down.
Oh my God.
Had a Biden moment on the stage, and
So,
Jill wasn't there to save me.
yeah, what happened? Well, final words. What do you think new shooters would benefit from assisting safety officers or actually becoming a safety officer? You think they?
You learn the rules faster
Yeah.
when you're actually like looking at it from a rule standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you learn the rules faster, which I think makes you a better shooter.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, you learn how to game a stage.
Yeah.
So anything that a novice shooter can do to be more involved in his shooting, I think is a good thing. So was IDPA 6? They want you to have 6 matches.
Yeah. Under your belt. Sure.
Which is really not much, but
Right. You pick that up in a local match
Yeah.
easily. Yeah.
2-3 months.
They throw you out there with
And then
anybody.
get out there and start doing it, but you just got to know the rules. Got to know the rules to shoot. Got to know the rules to be an SO.
Yeah.
And it always comes back to bite all of us. So at some point, you forget the rule. you end up in an appeal. You know.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't either.
Who do? Was that a first or
It was
really?
first appeal.
So Western at 2025 Western, we had some issues. There was an appeal going on. So they drew in their bag of tricks and asked the area coordinator, the acting area coordinator, to step in, which you had to.
I did.
And that was a long, drawn-out process.
No, actually, it was pretty short.
Yeah.
I tapped you and Scott, and I don't think we took 5 minutes to figure it out. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just strictly rules. You just keep it to the rules. You don't know who it is,
Yeah.
right? You just got to figure out what was the situation, what happened, and how do you best serve it, right?
yeah.
So,
Fortunately, it went to the shooter. So
well, it was, wasn't here or there. It was just that's the rules, right? So, but I worry about things that are not clear. And there are a lot of things going on in rules that can actually put you there, and if you allow it to.
it's that whole interpretation thing.
Oh,
Everybody's got an opinion, and then one guy has to make the decision. So
but when that one person makes the decision, you step by it, you stand by it, and that's the way you get every shooter, right? Or no?
When I'm saying the person that makes the final decision is going to be the AC. So the match director thinks he's right, he made the right call, and the SO thinks he's right, he made the right call,
Yeah.
and then it comes to the AC, and the AC goes, well, there's this, and this, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Would you do it again?
Not that I'm the final word, but I am at the match, so
Yeah.
I mean it is the final.
Unfortunately,
AC is the final
you're
word,
the guy. The buck stops with you. Yeah.
So whether you step on a toe or not, I mean, it could have gone the other way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and the shooter would have gotten hosed. But
Yeah.
So
It's a dog.
it's probably you.
Well, there you have it. A special shout out to our channel membership. This is your support, busy at work. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Fred Johnson.
Please be safe, and we shall see you on the range.
Like, share, subscribe.